Are you desperate for validation? Now tell me if you recognize yourself in one of these situations. Everywhere you go, you want all the people to like you. Everywhere you go, and every time you do something, you want people to notice you. You want people to say what a great job you did with whatever you did. Every time you meet someone, you try to impose the best first impression you can and expect that person to be in your life for the rest of your life and always tell you how great of a person you are. Do you recognize yourself in that? I know I can for a few of those situations. And with the years and the friendship that have come and gone in my life, I started understanding how desperate I was for attention, how desperate I was for validation mostly. I, I am an attention seeker. I'm not gonna hide that, and not in the sense of getting validation. I just love being in the spotlight and entertain people. That's just who I am when I'm in a group situation. Okay, at work I'm just focusing on my own thing and doing my own business. But especially in work situation or when I was still at high school or in college, definitely most of the time I was either the loudest in the room or the second loudest in the room, trying to just befriend everyone in the room. But that nagging habit that I have, the nagging that nagging property that I have for myself that I'm still learning to get out of is the fact that I look for validation from every person that I meet. If it was possible, everyone I meet should be telling me how great of a person I am, telling me, "Whoa, Elise, you're doing such a great job in this and this and this. I wish I could do that." Right? I want to be the person that people look up to. I want to be the person that they respect, and that's also why multiple times I've gone above and beyond for people who did not really deserve it. I was the nice guy. I was the person that you could always rely on. I was the guy that you could always call on, but for people who did not really deserve it. And that's what I want to warn you about. Desperate for validation. Desperation for validation is probably one of the biggest downfall of a person, of a nice person. If a nice person puts themselves out there and just is nice to everyone and is always available for someone to talk to, is always available for someone to help or to ask for help, at a certain moment there will be a breaking point because people will come in, demand things emotionally, physically, mentally, and then leave with that person feeling empty and used. And that shouldn't be you. If you feel like you always go above and beyond for people but they never do the same thing back, it's time to dial the fuck back and think before someone asks or before you are about to do a generous generous gesture for someone. If I do this right now, do I get any enjoyment out of it? That's a question I've been asking myself a lot. Also, with, you know, a big example that I could give is when someone needs a. When someone can't fill in their slot for coaching or slot for training, I ask myself, do I get enjoyment out of doing this? Because if someone asked me this 3 4 years ago, I would have said yes immediately, and I would have made it fit in my agenda, even if I only had like 3 hours of sleep. I would always say yes, right? But now I ask myself the question: what do I get out of doing that thing, and what has that person done for me in the past. Thankfully, the only people that actually ask me things nowadays are people that have also meant something for me in my life. So it's easier to say yes in those situations. But bro, it's time you ask yourself the question the moment you do something, what do I get out of this? Does this make me happy? Does this improve the relationship I have with a friend? And do I want that relationship to improve, or do I don't look at this relationship with this friend or this partner in the same way I would look to a relationship with my best friend or my best partner? You need to start vetting the people that you have around you. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out the most with. So think about the people that you surround yourself with. Think about the people that you put energy into. And stop looking for validation. The validation should come from within and not from someone else. You cannot do stuff with expectation that someone else will validate you for it. You should do things because you get happy out of it. The validation comes from within. You should do things or make things or produce things because it makes you happy, not because it makes other people happy. It could be a side effect of the action, like giving things. It will make someone else happy, but the main thing, if it makes you happy to give out things to someone or to give gifts, that's the main purpose. You cannot give gifts just because you think that other person will be happy and in return will do something for you, because that's not the good thing. That's not the good way to think about life. Okay, you can't go around doing things expecting the same thing in return and then get mad when those people don't do the same thing in return because you forgot to vet that friendship. Okay, stop seeking for validation.